Today. One chocolate today.
Grand National state level, you would have to run non-sales, wholesale.
Is like 9,000.
The only mistake I made, I didn't put her in the registration booth with the
Just this ever-evolving story.
Welcome back to Let's Grow Pullin'. I'm one of your co-hosts, Logan Stevens, here with Jason Schultz, Randy Fishball, and the ever-exciting Chase Richardson, our special guest.
Hey, Logan, you didn't say hi to Kenzie.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Logan.
we can't forget about Kenzie either. Kenzie, he's the brains behind this show. If we all rubbed our 3 brain cells together, it wouldn't even equal one of Kenzie's. So without her, none of this would happen and it'd all go off the rails. But here we got Chase Richardson, 2-wheel drive points champion, 2nd year in a row. Talk to us, Chase. Big deal. You guys just rounded it out with the Enderle. Just kind of introduce us and what do you run and how's the whole UD Uncle Dave Motorsports team work?
Logan, thanks for having me on, and well played. Always recognize a lady first. I know that was an honest mistake, but you rallied it back, and I think saved face there. Kenzie, Jason, hello to you. Randy, hello to you as well. It's a privilege to be on here with you guys. I watch this show frequently, and you guys do a great job. So, we just finished the Enderle, I guess, the week before last, and had a really good campaign across. I'd say good in 3 classes we competed in. One we were not very good at all, but 25 was a fun season and didn't tear very much up. And the 2-wheel drive championship was a lot of fun. It was anytime you can win one, you don't want to take it for granted. So it wasn't a typical season because there wasn't a lot of hooks and a lot of mishaps early in the year. And I guess our first points event was the end of July at Fort Recovery, but it was a mad dash for a month or so because I think we pulled every weekend through Bowling Green, and luckily we were lucky enough to win it again, I guess. So it's never gets old, and I'm not going to act like it gets old, and hopefully we can do it again in my lifetime. So
is that what you're saying? You're going to try for the 3-peat next year?
Well, of course we are. We wouldn't. We try to win every time we compete. We wouldn't do it unless we were gunning for that. And I think everyone would say that runs at the Grand National level. So I certainly am not saying that can happen. There's so many good competitors in the 2-wheel drive class that, there's no givens in with any of these vehicles, but especially that class with the amount of people that pull. And, that class sometimes gets a really bad rap, I think, because they have so many people competing. But I personally think some of the best pullers in pulling are people that run 2-wheel drive. So, and that's not including myself. So it's quite the honor. And if we're good Lord willing, we'll try her again next year with a few vehicles.
Well, better luck to you than what the Chiefs had with their 3-peat this last season. But let's back it up a little bit.
That's all because of Taylor Swift, though. And I don't think I'm gonna be with Taylor Swift, so I think I'll have a good chance. So,
well, you got Jason, so that's basically the same thing.
Yeah, I guess there's great Halloween costumes for everybody out there.
Let's back it up a little bit. So, many moons ago, many beers ago, where did you all get started down the road of tractor pulling? And let's kind of get to where we started the season this year.
So you're asking how I got into all this?
Yep. how'd you start? I know we started with some minis, and then it's just kind of developed from there.
Well, I guess myself, I was a puller at birth. My birthday's always right before the farm machinery show. Being from Kentucky, I think I was at the farm machinery show as a few days old infant, believe it or not. And up until I spent a lot of my life, or a good portion of my life, involved in basketball. And outside of a basketball commitment, there's not one of those events that I've ever missed. And that pull's very special to a lot of people, but it's even more special, I think, if you're from Kentucky, and probably even more special that we're less than an hour from there. So by birth, I was, I guess, a puller because my dad pulled. At age 12, my dad, where I'm from, Grayson County, Litchfield, Kentucky, truck pulling is very popular. And, that, in fact, they have a facility that they pull pretty well every weekend from May through, October. Like it's almost like a drag strip model. You go there and you pull all the time. And they have some street stock two-wheel drive. And if anyone that follows Kentucky pulling, there's a class called the Grayson County two-wheel drive. Well, Grayson County is the town where we're from. And at age 12, I guess my dad built me a Grayson County two-wheel drive truck to compete in. And he actually probably, the rules are pretty loose, but anyone that knows my dad, I guess he was, he likes to push the envelope, to call it lightly. And he had bought a 650 natural aspirated motor that was in a four-wheel drive truck, literally, and put it in a street stock two-wheel drive, run against carbureted 454s and all kinds of street stuff, which I guess he did. It wasn't technically legal, but he put me in it, and there's a picture somewhere because it was a truck in nature. We had a open bed seat on it. My dad was in there with me, and it sounded a lot different than other trucks. But the first time I drove, he was in the passenger seat with me, and I pretty well just drove it clear like an idiot. I just stomped on it. The truck picked straight up there, came down, picked straight up again, came down. And about the third time it was in the air, my dad came over and grabbed my leg and pulled off the gas pedal and came down. I just crashed the front end on it. And from that point forward, I was educated on driving stuff easy, because had that not happened, I'd probably be a hard driver. I mean, I can still drive hard on shit when I need to, but at that age, that was my first time driving. And then I did that, I don't know, there until I was 16. We'd pull there around Grayson County all the time. My dad was campaigning the Kodiak tractor there. You saw a clip during that time of my life. And then drove my dad's two-wheel drive at 16 at NTPA Grand National, Georgetown, Ohio. I actually won that pull remarkably somehow. I don't know how. And the first year I drove, I think I won 3 times, 3 Grand National hooks. It was kind of very lucky and unheard of. And then I think from age 16 until, I don't know, 22 or 23, I pulled two-wheel drives and I ran the Grand National circuit. I think I won 2 times the rest of the next 8 to 9 years. So as I said, I was involved in basketball pretty heavily a good part of my life. And at age 23, I got a Division I coaching job and still went pulling with Dad some, but was not as hardcore as we are now, I guess. And got out, changed careers and got out coaching in 2020. And since then have been going pretty hard at it. So started out running two-wheel drives on the national circuit, and guess we got our first mini rod. I was probably 25 when I would come home from coaching and pull a couple weekends of summer, and Adam and Larry Kessler sold us a mini rod. Got very involved with that, didn't pull two-wheel drives, and have been mini rod pulling primarily since then. And as the last couple of years, kind of found my way back into two-wheel drive pulling. But that two-wheel drive was the roots, and yeah, that's the Cliff Notes version of my career as a puller.
Yeah. So let's just go and jump into this year. So you kicked off the year with a second place there at the National Farm Machinery Show. You picked up a big old sponsorship from the lovely Busch Light, your guys' favorite sponsor there.
Yeah.
And then walk us through, let's just start here, this run of that two-wheeler.
Hey, Logan, I don't mean to. I know this is your show, but he won the National Farm Machinery Show this year. I know this because he didn't take his fire suit off until Sunday. He got second in the qualifier, but he won the final. So I just wanted to.
The picture I saw was Chase holding the second place trophy. So
No, that was a qualifier Friday night, and
All
then he won it Saturday. So Randy, we got to get in here and help Chase out.
Jason tries to kiss my ass, Logan. So don't have to ignore him.
I do. I work for the guy. I'm not afraid.
Yeah, I don't take ass kissing very well. Me and Jason don't really get along. Yeah, so let's see. We had a two-wheel drive truck, or we ended up with a two-wheel drive truck, I guess, around 2020. That Mike and Clay Chastain campaign, they won a championship within 21. And in 23, I ended up campaigning that truck, not fully the plan, but it just kind of worked out that way. And we've been pretty involved with Chuck Ford and CFH Superchargers the last few years. He's been a great friend to me and my dad both, but also, he's very, very knowledgeable in the supercharger and motor and, high performance industry. And a lot of the ideas of what we do have came from Chuck, from the drag racing world. And traditionally, I guess you would say that what works in drag racing doesn't work in tractor pulling, which I'd say that's a general decent statement. But our engines, and I'm not saying, there's a lot of good engines, a lot of good programs out there. I'm not saying ours is right or wrong or anything, but we've taken a drag racing type model to pulling, and we run a very unique engine combination. And in 23, that combination, we decided to put it into a two-wheel drive, and wasn't sure how it was going to react. And honestly, when we did it, it sucked really bad at first. But by the end of the year, I think we'd won a couple of national events. We won Bowling Green, Ohio, in that truck, and it's seen enough that knew we were onto something. And then, Brian McDonald is a good friend of mine and my dad's, and we'd helped him get going with his mini rod. And Brian's extremely knowledgeable, super smart, probably as smart as any puller out there. Had his truck in Maryland that he'd not been campaigning, and, decided we need to stick your engine in this truck because that truck is a badass chassis and works really well. And stuck that engine out of that truck into Brian's chassis in 24, and didn't really start 24 really great either. But, we still learn every pull on that specific type of combination and what we can and can't do at times. And about the midway point of 24, we got on our real roll and did really well. And, I think we took the lead at Bowling Green, Ohio in 24 and finished it off at a Canton, Ohio with a win, and I think a top 3 or 4 that night. And then took it running all off season, had some good luck with it, won the farm show, second the first night, won the final Saturday. And, that was the timelines. And like I said, that class is so competitive, and fortunately there's always a lot of two-wheel drive pulls in a lot of different parts of the country. And, you learn a lot on combinations and what work and what doesn't work. And every time we pull with anything we have, we're always learning something. So this year was, as I said, a much different season, and we're never really out of it, but didn't light the world on fire. And we had ourselves in a position where we could make a move at Bowling Green. And I personally believe anybody that wins a championship at the NTPA level, you have to perform well in Bowling Green. And on Thursday night, we were lucky enough to win. And then Saturday, we were dead last hook in the class, but had probably a better run Saturday than we did Thursday and finished up 6th. So had enough of a points lead to go into the Enderle with the championship lockdowns if we hooked the sled. Thankfully, because we didn't make a good run at the Enderle, but that's the timeline, I guess, the last couple of years of that two-wheel drive and back-to-back championships.
Before we jump in and talk about some of your season with your other 2 vehicles, being the light mod and the mini, let's catch up on some of these questions here. So which Division I program did you coach for?
Yeah, so I coached at 3 different schools. I was at my alma mater, Western Kentucky, coached there for 4 years. Then I got an opportunity to go to Troy University and the Sun Belt Conference. Was there for 1 year, and then I reunited with my boss from Western Kentucky at Jacksonville State, which is actually in Conference USA with Western Kentucky now. I went there for 5 years, was associate head coach actually there, and that program they'd been Division I when we got there in 2016 was when we got there. They'd been Division I for, I think, 23 years and had one winning season in 23 years. And our first year there, we won a conference championship, the first one ever. And my boss, Ray Harper, is still there to this day. And he set every record at the school because the 5 years I was there, we went to 2 NCAA tournaments. And we won 2 conference championships and 1 NCAA tournament is what it was. And then he's been on a great run and does a great job. So, yeah, Jacksonville State for 5 years, Troy University for a year, and Western Kentucky for 4.
So talk to us about your motor combination a little bit with Chuck Ford and Noonan.
Yeah, so we buy our engine shells, if you want to call it, from Noonan. Noonan Race Engineering in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And, we've collaborated and worked with Chuck. Like I said, actually, it's a funny story. We had met Chuck, and my dad had bought blowers from Chuck, but my school in Jacksonville State in Alabama is an hour, 15 minutes from Chuck Ford's doorstep. So those 5 years I was there coaching, I spent countless nights with Chuck and developed a great friendship, and he's like a father to me. But it's because I was right in his backyard and I couldn't go pulling all the time. And he basically adopted me whenever I wanted to get away from basketball to go to his shop. And him and my dad have been friends, but that's really how my relationship got so far with him. So we buy our shell of our engines from Noonan, and then we have our own valve train and own camshafts and kind of run our own program with Chuck. So it's a Noonan shell, but it's like it's our engine combination.
Yep. Tell us a little bit about what you do and the Chase Richardson outside of tractor pulling.
Well, I've always had a lot of love and passion for pulling, just like all you all in here have, like a lot of my friends. And we've started Full Pull Live, Full Pull Picks, Full Pull Entertainment, I guess 3 years ago now. And I don't need to talk about what all that's involved with now. Jason and everyone does a great job day to day. I'm just kind of in the background. A lot of great people involved with that business, and it's only thriving and going to be bigger. And the return on growing pulling is already occurring in front of us, and just it's only going to get better. And I'm as excited about being involved with that as I think I have anything in my life. But I'm just a piece. There's a lot more that goes into it, but that takes up a lot of my time right now, honestly. And we farm. I'm a 4th generation farmer. We farm a couple thousand acres in Kentucky, which is a lot from where we're from. We're not particularly on farm ground. We have a lot of rolling hills and windy roads. And when you ride with Jason, he'll normally run off the road a time or two because he's not a very good driver. So anyone that rides with Jason, buckle up. I'm not a very good rider with him, but we farm, and my dad started a very successful general contracting company that does government contracting, general construction, everything from concrete to HVAC to site work. We do 95% of the work is through government contracts. So my dad's involved in a lot of other stuff, but we're never bored, if you want to say that.
Yep. So
go ahead, Logan.
Now that we gotten through some of who Chase Richardson is, as if we didn't know already, Jason, let's watch some videos and let's just have some more fun talking about tractor pulling.
Yeah, before we get into that, Randy, with you operating your sled, who has hooked most to your new mini rod sled with you in the seat of the sled?
Chase Richardson has.
Yeah, I think was it Greenwich, Ohio, where we had the Chase Richardson test and tune.
Yes, we did. Yep.
I was going to say it took a couple attempts there at the beginning of the year to get the program straightened out and headed in the right direction.
Well,
It was awesome. It's like we had a private
watch,
track that night.
Obviously, you didn't watch because that sure as hell didn't fix anything. It just changed the excuse for what was wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, that was my first attempt at running it. Was there at Greenwich at my hometown, and Chase was at the seat there for sure.
That was every 4th of July. I highly recommend if you're bored and want pulling, go to Greenwich, Ohio, to the Fireman's Festival. That's pullers too. That's a really good track, and Ohio is. I would say Ohio is the capital of pulling. I might get challenged on that, but that state is the heartbeat of the sport of pulling, in my opinion.
From what I've seen, yeah, it's hard to disagree. So let's show. We got Chase's run from Fort Recovery this year, 2025. Video courtesy of Full Pull Live. That was that third Chase that day? I know it was a top 5.
Yeah, we were first hook, got third. Nichols' team got first and second. They were need to really compliment them. They were very tough this year, and yeah, the whole 2-wheel drive class, everyone's really good, and we were just fortunate to finish out when it finished out. If the season had it been longer, who knows? I think so much of that class goes into when the season ends, not who's the best, if that makes sense.
It's kind of who's the best right there at the end of the season, because it's with a class with that many vehicles and the mini rods are starting to get this way. It's anyone's ball game out there.
Absolutely, definitely so. And mini rod's not far behind in terms of the unpredictability of who's going to do good and not do good, in my opinion.
Logan, let's dive into the light mod if you don't mind. Chase rounded out the season with a big win at the Enderle. The tractor was really hot from Bowling Green.
Tractor that's been on kind of a tear all year since you guys debuted it there at the season. From some huge wheel stands there at Bowling Green to rounding out the season with a solid program. Tell us a little bit about that.
Logan, let's run the video from the Enderle, and then you and Chase can talk. So here we go. Here's
Logan.
Picked up a Grand National win in Bowling Green.
Those motors just out there singing. So tell us a little bit about your year with the light mod, and then why did you guys decide to go that way?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'll lead with that. So, obviously anyone that's finished the year on a high note and won some pulls, you can be biased. But the last couple of years, my dad and I and our team have kind of thought that's a pretty exciting class to watch. It's relatively new in terms of that weight category, but we've last year we had an opportunity to buy the Super B tractor of Keith Wason, which is it's been around for a few years, but it was always a good running tractor. It was set up nicely for 2 engines. So we bought it actually right before the first pull of last season with the hope and intent of trying to maybe get it debuted sometime in 24. But 95% of our plans never meet timelines. So it was kind of turned into a winter project. And so the class has grown, naturally. There's, I think this is the 3rd year, maybe 4th year of the class. And I think it was pretty well steady around 8-10 tractors at most events, and some of the best pullers out there. I mean, the Sullivans, the Simon team, Brent Payne, Les Corporal, all those, guys are really, really good. And, came out, we first run on it was at Toma this year and finished last. I think the first hook. The next day we 8th or 9th maybe, and there wasn't a ton of runs in that class. I think the next time we run it, we went to Door, Michigan, made a few changes. I think may have got 4th or 5th at Door. Then didn't run it again until Rockwell. about killed myself the first day at Rockwell with it on the wheelie bars. Second day, I think we got fourth. Thought we made a really good run the second day, but it wasn't. We were 25 feet behind the guys out front, so we made a lot of changes going into Bowling Green. And first day at Bowling Green, we won in a pull off with the Bollingers. That was pretty exciting. Made 2 really good runs. Second day, got really stupid on the wheelie bars, but then we learned more and won the Enderle and then went to Canton, Ohio, and got 2 seconds. So. Yeah, we're pretty excited about that vehicle. The whole class, anyone it's not just me. I mean, I think fans and, I have a little more insights just from what fans like with my involvement with full pull. And I think that's a class that's probably put itself up in the upper half of most like fan engaged classes. It's a ton of fun to watch. And I think it's only going to grow. There's 2 for sure, maybe 3. New light modifieds coming out in 26 with recognizable teams and names. I'll let them make those announcements, not I. So I could see next year I expect next year to even be a bigger class, both from the amount of hooks we have and the amount of vehicles. So that class is really cool, and really glad that we were in it, and expect to have fun with it for years to come.
So looking here real quick from the Irish pulling team, all pullers running the same combination. I know you mentioned earlier you're running something a little bit special, a little bit different. And this is kind of piggybacking off of it. Are all the motors in each one of your vehicles the same?
Yeah, it's a good question. So all of our engines are exactly the same in all the vehicles. We do have different rocker assemblies in a couple of them, and that's only because we bought a bunch of parts off of a Jim Whiteley, a pro mod racer at the time, and he had a lot of lightweight stuff. So it's like our 2-engine tractor and our mini rod rocker assemblies are a little different, but the base of them are all the same. They're 4-inch stroke engines, which is not a lot of stroke for pulling. Yep. We don't run a lot of overdrive on our blowers. And then probably the one other biggest change, the 2-wheel drive, its fuel system is a little different than the other ones because you have to drive it so different, and like the throttle control portion of it's different. So outside of that, we could literally bolt one into the other. And the 2-wheel drive, we would just have to change the fuel system a little bit.
So let's talk looking at all your vehicles here. Which one's your favorite one to drive, and what's kind of the difference hopping from a mini to a mod to a 2-wheeler?
Well, the mini rod has always been my favorite. It just I haven't been its favorite this year. A couple of years ago, I like to think we've run really well with our mini rod. This was the first Enderle pull off that I had not qualified for since I started running full time, which, that's in that class, it's hardest to make it anytime. I think we've gone to 5 straight Enderles. So we've always been consistent with it. We almost won a championship in 21 and 22 with it. And, this year we just rented some gremlins, and I think we might speculate we know what the problem was, but mini rod's definitely my favorite. And if I had nothing else to run, I'd run a mini rod just because it's the best rod, and the light modified's a fun ride too, but I don't know. I just have a ton of friends, and I love the competition in mini rod. It just fits me a little better. I think I just need to make sure I keep my weight down. I put on a little weight this past year, and I need to get trimmed down a little more. That's the only part that sucks at times is it's a weight battle. But the light modified's cool. I mean, 2-wheel drive, I sometimes give it a hard time around friends and stuff, but I don't mind driving 2-wheel drive either. Anytime I'm not going to act like I don't like one or the other. I like any of them that do well. I hate them when they all suck. But the only thing, truthfully, I've driven my dad's Unlimited, I think 2.5 times, I'll call it, 2 real passes.
That was my next question. There is, Dave ever let you up in the seat of that thing? And
I don't want to drive it. I seriously, I don't even looking at the thing because there's just way too much going on out there. He's a really good unlimited driver. Yeah, he's a really good unlimited driver, and I don't know. It's like you don't drive that thing, you ride it, and there's just so much stuff in front of you you could mess up, and that's for him to mess up, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were there in Nashville, Illinois, and Brett Berg had me hop up and warm his mod up. And I got off that thing. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to drive one of these because that's scary having 4 rumbling Hemis right there.
My dad was intended to drive that 2-engine tractor. Honestly, I was going to drive it some, but it was intended for him. And at Toma, Wisconsin, the first night we had it, the light mods, the Unlimiteds were run at the exact same time. And like, if you go back and watch the video, and we knew it looking at the numbers and so forth, and we're like, those vehicles are going to run at the same time. My dad said, well, I ain't screwing with that 2-engine tractor. You just drive it. And I drove it. It's different to drive. I mean, I'd say anyone, it's going to take you a couple times to get used to it because it's just different. And we had dug ourselves enough of a hole. I knew the whole time I was going to have to pull it in Door, Michigan. And then as we made changes, I just got stuck. I don't want to say I got stuck driving it. I weaseled my way into being the full-time driver. But my dad's going to drive it this fall some. We're actually going this weekend and pulling it at Woodbury, Tennessee. Yep. Wesley Foster's, I think there's going to be 3 light mods there doing I don't want to call it exhibition. We're still going to try to beat the other guys, but doing a mini class with 3 light mods. And then next weekend in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, which is close to our hometown. My house is actually in Elizabethtown. They're having a really big pull. I would argue it's probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest outdoor pull in the state of Kentucky. It's happening in Elizabethtown, Kentucky next Saturday, and they're going to have a light mod class there. My dad's going to drive it there. And when I say light mod, it's 7,400, so more like the outlaw rolls, which we haven't ran that weight yet, so we've had to change a few things, and we're changing them. And then the Lufkin, Texas, the outlaw finale, my dad's taking the tractor down there and competing with the outlaws the middle of October. So pulling season's not over for us, and this month there'll be some pretty fun pulls for us to participate in, and looking forward to seeing my dad drive that tractor as well.
So while we're rounding this up a little bit, getting a little short here on time, what's kind of some plans looking forward into the off season and then next year? I know you mentioned you're having the 2-wheeler out again, which why wouldn't you? But is there anything new coming on and some final things that we're looking forward to? National Farm Machinery Show, where are we going to see you next?
Yeah, so we're I'll go each one. Mini rod wise, we're have a new chassis we're working on putting together, and still trying to troubleshoot what our exact problem was this past year. And we're going to be spending some time in the dyno and so forth, trying to get in those problems, hopefully at least somewhat solved when we go back to the track. But we'll be doing some pulling with that in March. There'll be some exciting news coming out here in the next week or so regarding some pulls in March that our mini rod will be a part of. Light mod, we've actually sold the chassis we have. Are building a different chassis with Brad Corporal Modern Machine. That project's already on its way, and like the mini rod, there'll be some announcements. We'll be running that thing in March as well. Hopefully with our new one that'll be done. 2-wheel drive, pulling it here the next few weeks, and then there's some pulls in Kentucky, in Lexington, Kentucky. If we're fortunate to get invited, we might go to. Early January. That's a pretty big pull in Lexington, Kentucky, that Eddie Carey puts on. And then the farm show, I don't know. Apparently, everyone got their farm show letters, and we didn't get one sent to us. So I'm going to have to go see if I can find an application, apply to it, because we haven't got a farm show letter, but I'm sure they have them online somewhere. But if we're lucky enough, maybe we'll get invited back to the farm show in February. And then the Unlimited, it's pretty well shelved until the next summer starts. So
well, unknowing what you got with mini rods coming up here, we got some here that if you need to fill out a mini class, hint, hint, we need some place to run. But no, that's all I've got here, Chase. Thanks for coming on. Randy, you got anything else?
Yeah, we gotta let Randy talk. We got Jeremy Smith back in makeup. He needs more makeup, so we'll let him.
I don't want to intrude on Jeremy's time.
Oh, no. Smith needs more makeup. I can see him back there smiling.
I can definitely tell this show
my
has higher
my
quality
time's a
than
lot
last Jason.
cheaper than your guys's.
This show definitely. I've noticed y'all done some changes, and Logan, you do a really good job hosting this, and the quality definitely goes up the less Jason talks. So whatever y'all doing, just try to keep that on track.
So I just have one question for Chase. Where's that one venue that you would really like to win that just kicks your ass all the time?
Everywhere.
No, there's got to be one that just like, man, you just can't wiggle out a win there. Or have you guys been doing it long enough that you've won just about?
No. Rockwell, Iowa seems to really kick my ass personally. There in Hutch, I've done well. I think I've won at Rockwell with the truck, but the dirt, that part of the country is a little different. Not just a much darker dirt, and it pulls a little different. And I seem to really struggle at those two places. So did better this year. Like the mini rod, I got third, I think, the first night or fourth. The truck, I got a couple top tens maybe. So it wasn't like I did horrible, but it takes a different way of doing it that I don't really know, or we don't know how to do yet, but we'll keep trying.
A different setup per se for a different dirt type.
Or maybe they just need a different driver in the vehicles. That might help.
We'll stick Jason in it and see how that works out.
Well, I didn't say we wanted to end our pulling career.
No, I've always enjoyed watching your guys' no practice, and that's a highlight of my Wednesday there. So,
yeah, who's your guest this week there, Mr. Richardson? Who do you got coming on Wednesday?
Shane Kellogg, the Grand National diesel four-wheel drive truck, the well-known Trump vehicle, will be joining us. Obviously, he's had the success, but he's got the stories from what I'm being told, and is quite the character. So I think this will be one of those can't miss ones for sure. But no, it's fun. Tyler and Adam, we're all equal in doing that, and those guys are, believe it or not, really good friends of mine, and we may not act like it on air, but really enjoy doing that with those guys every other Wednesday.
Cool. No. Well, let's get rid of him. I want to talk to Jeremy Smith, somebody that actually likes me, I think. It'd be nice. My own podcast.
Thank you all for having me on.
Yep. Good seeing you, Chase. Thanks for everything.
Yeah, Logan, I've been watching you, man. You're doing really well with that mini rod. And
I appreciate it.
I've told a few people I think you're a damn good driver for you to be so young. So keep it up. Just don't get too good.
This year we fought some stuff, found some more power, and now we got to make some setup changes to account for that. But we'll get her figured out. So that means a lot to hear that.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Just don't get too good.
Logan, this is where you say, like, if you suck again next year, Chase, I get to drive your mini. Have a little fun, Logan. A little banter. Chase likes a little banter.
I would trust him in it. He seems a little more responsible than you.
Yeah, well, he is. Logan, where do you want to drive it? Come on, tease him.
Okay, well, let's throw one out here. I've never been to Bowling Green, and I want to go there. So
you don't want to drive the vehicle I had this past year, so maybe we'll see if we can get it running right. Then we'll
pull a driver swap and see how you like our stuff.
I got enough.
Instead of a high rev and short stroke motor like you guys, you can feel the real torque of a big motor.
I've been told stroke is always my issue, so maybe I need to make some life changes.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Chase.
Yeah, have a good one. Thanks.
See you, Chase.
Here, let's show. We got Chapel Hill. Chase is running Chapel Hill. All right. So
there you go, folks. Chase
Richardson. Jeremy Smith, OSTPA champion.
What's up, guys?
Can you, Jeremy? I just want you to say "womp womp" for me. Say "womp womp." You say "womp womp," Jeremy. There you go. Attaboy. Wait for that. So, okay, Jeremy, what picture do you want behind me? Do you want spontaneous combustion or do you want Hystrung? Tell me.
Whatever you want, doesn't matter. Randy wants the farm tractor, I'm sure.
I was going to say we got to put the farm tractor behind me. So
absolutely.
Now, folks, Jeremy is an awesome puller. I finally got to meet him in real life this year at Farley. So if you have any question, please type it in the comments. We want to thank Chase Richardson for coming on. I did not put him on the show. That we had our full pull live meeting this afternoon. Everybody said I was kissing his ass and I was bringing Chase on. I said no. Logan lined up Chase. I lined up Jeremy Smith. So that's how that goes. So Katie Edwards is checking in. Jeremy and Randy. If you got questions for the Randy, this is our OSTPA part of the show tonight. Jeremy, it's been fun coming out and live streaming with you guys here the last couple months. Love watching Spontaneous Combustion run. Leave it up. And then all of a sudden I looked at the points and Hystrung's winning the points. And then I always call a cast ass a non-component pro stock, but you and Randy call it the farm tractor. So
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
the
do.
nickname it's given.
Yep. Jeremy, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into let's go business first. Tell us about your business, and then we're going to jump into pulling, if you don't mind.
Sure. So our main business is Smith Brothers Mulch. So we do make mulch and landscaping products, sell at wholesale retail in the Northern Ohio market, Cleveland area. That's our main business. We have a few others around. We have General Maintenance Service Company is a medium and heavy duty truck repair business in Medina. And then obviously we purchased Cyclone Diesel Performance with Jim Fink. Fortunately, we lost him about a year ago, but that's the engine shop that builds my engine and then several other semis around. And then we have another business in Texas. We dabble a little bit. We package some potatoes on the fresh market down in San Antonio, Texas.
Nice. I didn't know you were a potato guy too, Jeremy. See, this is what's good. I like this.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't let Randy talk much yet. Randy, tell us a good Jeremy Smith story that you can say online that's not going to put him in jail or anything like that.
He says, I don't have any stories that I want to tell. I like to make memories and I like to keep my friends, and so I definitely can't tell any stories because I might lose my only friend I have. You know? So
if nobody knows it, if Randy doesn't answer his phone or Jeremy don't answer their phone, it's because they're talking to each other. And that's what they do. So. If you ever call Randy, then you call Jeremy, and neither one of them answer, it's because they're talking to each other. So that's how that works. So
a lot of truth to that. A lot of truth to that, for sure.
So Jeremy, your pulling career, did it start in pro stock? Can you take us when you got the first time down the track?
So first time down the track, I was probably 8 or 9 years old, just farm stock pulling, county fair, just pulling stock tractors. We had a local club here and pulled 3 times a year, and that's kind of how it started. I was just a kid, and then got involved in kind of hot farm, modified farm stock with Glenn Fink. Started with the Ford 9000. That was when I just first got out of high school. I was in like 98, and from there evolved into Super Farm. Was a partner with Glenn there in 2000. We ran the region circuit for 3 years, and then I built Hystrung in 2003, and we ran Grand National Super Farm for several years there, and then kind of evolved from there. Kind of dabbled in 4.1. We probably were one of the first tractors to put a 4.1 on. We went to Randy's Fair at the time, was in Norwalk, and made an exhibition pass in there with 4.1 and tried to kind of get that class started a little bit. And then eventually evolved into an opportunity, drove with Steve Ortner in 2010. That was my first time on a pro stock, and drove for him for 4 years. And then converted into Hystrung into a pro stock, and then built Spontaneous in 2021.
Right. How many points championships did you win with the farm tractor, Jeremy?
With just the farm tractor,
also known as Hystrung.
Yeah, probably. I'm guessing 5. I don't know the number exact. 5, probably 5 or 6.
And this year you won your 12th, right? This is number 12.
One? Yep.
So
I had three of them with Ortner. My first one was in 2010, and we had 3 championships with him, and Steve won the other one that year. And so the 4 years we were together, we won 4 championships, and then went from there with Hystrung, and then the last 3 or 4 has been with Spontaneous.
Yep. Good. Well, yeah, you just locked that one up on Saturday night in Dover, Ohio, with a win with Spontaneous. So, farm tractor was 3rd on Saturday night, right? Yep. farm tractor
That
doing farm
is
tractor things.
correct, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, here, Jeremy, we're going to show you a run
Making
from
passes.
Dover. What's that, Jeremy? Sorry.
Okay.
We're going to show you a run from
Yeah, go
Dover.
ahead.
Jeremy's got a little bit of a lag on his internet. So we're going to show Jeremy Smith's winning run in spontaneous combustion in Dover, Ohio, Friday night. What a pass. What a pass. The most impressive one was Ashland. That was a Sunday, 2 Sundays ago now, right? You and Deppen, didn't you guys go 391 and he was 1 and you were 391 and 6? Is that, if I say that right?
Yeah,
I think I
it
did,
was-
Randy. Pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, we were 5/10 apart. It was Melvin out there and laid a great pass down and wasn't sure. He's been running really good and won several hooks. So we just gave it all we had and got up there really close with him.
It was awesome. Again, fans, if you're just joining Let's Grow Pulling, we have Jeremy Smith, your 2025 Ohio State Tractor Pulling Association Pro Stock Champion with the Hystrung tractor. Was able to. Did Hystrung miss any hooks, Jeremy, or did it hit every one of them this year?
No, he hit every one, but we actually won with spontaneous combustion. So
You
Hystrung
did?
ended up with a. Yeah. It
What?
was.
I got that
because
I
we're
screwed that up. Oh,
Well,
I'm sorry, Jeremy. I need to. We're going to restart the podcast over. I thought. I swear, Hystrung was in the lead.
It was, but don't forget, in our point system, we have a 10% drop rule. So we had 20 hooks. So we were able to drop our worst 2. So spontaneous combustion still missed three hooks total, but it overcame the missing the 1, obviously because we did pretty good with it through the year, and ended up being 3 points ahead of Hystrung at the end.
Okay.
We actually took the lead in Ashland by 1 point.
So I'm on the OSTPA website, and this is my fault, but I should have looked at the numbers. But it shows spontaneous combustion at 601, and then at first, and then Hystrung at 650. I looked at the number and just went with that. So I think the name just got switched around on there. So
yeah, but if you go over to the right side of that, you can see the final with the drops. So
I want to apologize to all of the Jeremy Smith fans for letting Jeremy down. So, sorry about that. So.
I know I crushed Randy's dreams. Randy's dreams. He wanted to see the farm tractor win another one.
Yeah. I did. I want to see the farm tractor win one more. Yep. It's probably one of the last. There's probably not very many cast iron rear end pro stocks left out there. There's probably a few, but not very many.
Jeremy, do you know off the top of your head how many there is left, Jeremy, out there?
Boy, there's only a couple. I don't know for sure. Kind of lost track, and then some guys have converted over. I don't know that there's many that are running every night like we are. I don't know. I'm sure there's a couple out there.
Sure.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that OSTPA had a drop rule. I know the Outlaws have a drop rule, but they actually drop complete hooks. Like if they have so many hooks, they can drop their worst 2 or their worst 1. But that's kind of the same thing that OSTPA has then as well with that 10% basically. So
yep, same thing. So the first after we have 10, 10 you get 1 drop, at 20 you get 2. So we had exactly 20. So if we would have had a rain out, as I told Randy, I said if Dover rains out, the farm tractor wins. If we don't, spontaneous will win. So it was because we would have lost that extra drop, only having 19 if it got rained out.
Perfect. Jeremy, why do you love the sport of truck and tractor pulling? What is your why? Why do you? Because it's a lot of money and it's a lot of time. And for a successful business guy, when you look at the ROI, you go to yourself, this doesn't work. But we know we do it. What is Jeremy Smith's why?
It's just in my DNA, and I've been around tractor pulling my entire life. Grew up around it as a little kid, and my dad pulled when he was younger, and it's just what we do. It's always been part of my life. It's always been what we do all summer, and I think the biggest thing is the people that you meet all around and the friends that you make, and it was we did quite a bit of national pulling, back in the early 2000s, and made a lot of friends and traveled around, and then got busy with life and work and stayed closer to home and focused on OSTPA, and just because you can work a half a day and be to work the next day in the morning, and it was really good. But it was one of those things when you go back to some of these pulls like we did this year, travel a little bit, and it was like meeting friends last week. Haven't seen them for 20 some years, and walk up and knew guys by name and guys you haven't seen or talked to, and it was just like we went pulling last weekend, and that's what it's all about is the people you meet and the friends you have, and the camaraderie and the just the common passion for the sport and life and everything that you have in common with everybody that you meet, and that's what makes it so cool. It's Randy talked. We joke about our inner circle, the small circle that we have, but that revolves around pulling for sure.
Yeah. Love that answer, and it's true. I mean, anybody you ask, it's the people who keep you going, the challenge of it. The idea to put spontaneous combustion together, when did that start? And I want to know, why did you pick that beautiful Challenger sheet metal? Because that thing won the internet. It's still pretty, Jeremy. Beautiful track.
You were breaking up a little bit there. I couldn't hear you.
What was the idea to put spontaneous together when you did, and then how did you pick the sheet metal, or why did you pick that Cat Challenger sheet metal?
Yeah, we decided to do that. Obviously, we wanted to build. We needed space. We needed a big hood. As we knew we needed to build a component chassis, because obviously with Hystrung we were limited on movable weight and hood space and etc. as the class was evolving. So we looked out and it was something different. It was we wanted to build something with a big hood and something different, something unique, and that was just one of those things that that hood kind of jumped out at us, and something different, and it's kind of ran with it and went that direction.
It's a beautiful piece. I just love it. I finally got to see it for real life in Farley, and I was so excited. I think I went over and I think I touched it. I know Chandler and Mackenzie were pretty excited as well.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was fun to take it out and about the country a little bit this year, and a lot of people came up and got to see it and talk about it, and it's kind of cool. They come up and say, "Oh, I've seen this thing on the internet," or saw it on TikTok or whatever, and it was cool to be part of that.
The OSTPA Pro Stocks, that's a tough bunch. That is a tough bunch, night in and night out. For you to come out on top like that, that's a credit to you and what you and your team do night in and night out. So again, congratulations to you on that. When you look at the I want you to put your director hat on, or your board member OSTPA hat right now. What does OSTPA mean to Ohio for pulling?
It's huge. There's an opportunity where we have 40 some hooks. I think we had 41 on the books this year, and all over the state. So we get to see a broad spectrum of venues, of fan base, of different areas through the whole state. So it's a great sponsorship opportunity. We've had a lot of people, a lot of companies, local companies that I think have seen value in that, and what we bring to the table as far as fan base and shows that we put on. So it's important to there, and we really work hard at running a good show and having good quality equipment and providing that entertainment for everybody around the state.
I will tell you, I've been in Ohio now 2 years with Full Pull. All the fairgrounds, I don't care what association it is, Jeremy, the fairgrounds are just top-notch facilities, all really good pulling tracks, and the fans are, I don't know if it's the population, there's just more people in Ohio than there is in Iowa and Wisconsin, but man, the fans and the fairs, you guys just pack them in. It's awesome. And they're into it. They cheer and they yell, and it's fun. It's a hoot. Yeah,
we're very fortunate. We have some very big shows with big crowds, and like you said, they're into it. They love pulling, and that's we're in the heart of pulling country, and there's you can go pulling every weekend all summer, and sometimes 3-4 nights a week, and we do with Ohio, it's fun to see this group. It's fun. I remember you talk about the fans cheering. Randy, you'll remember this. We were at Mount Vernon that one year and had a monsoon rain out, and we weren't sure what to do, and the fans were packed, and it was raining, and we were out there and went out there and tromped in the mud, and and the promoter wanted to have the event, so we made the announcement that we're going to go pulling, but it's going to be, probably 2 or 3 hours so we get the mud scraped off and do the whole bit. And everybody went berserk. I mean, they just standing ovation and screaming. Randy, I'm sure you remember that. And we looked at each other and said, man, we made the right call here. Let's go pulling. Let's give them a show.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was
shout out.
That was one of those things that showed cool. That how much they love pulling.
Yeah. Yeah, we could go. I think Saturday night was probably the first Saturday night we haven't gone pulling since end of May. So we've been busy all summer long in Ohio for sure. So.
Jeremy, when do you guys crank up OSTPA? Is it early June or is it late June, or when does the season really get rolling for you guys?
Last weekend in May.
That's right.
We started last weekend in May. Was our first pull.
Nice. Jeremy, what's the closest OSTPA pull to your hometown that you consider your hometown pull? I'm gonna get Jeremy new internet.
Yeah, it would be It'd be Medina, Jason. Medina,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Medina would be Jeremy's hometown pull.
Perfect.
So,
has Jeremy done well there? Jeremy, have you done well at Medina over the years?
What was that?
Have you done well in Medina over the years?
Pulling wise, yeah, it's been hit and miss. There was a time we did well. There was 3 years in a row. We won that event 3 years in a row on 3 different tractors one time. So that was that was something that was kind of cool. But
yes, I remember
it's a challenge winning your hometown for sure. Lots of pressure. So
Jeremy's internet's just off just a scotch tonight. Logan or Randy, do you have any final questions for Jeremy, your 2025 OSTPA champion on spontaneous combustion, not high strung? I did not prep properly. I got to go out to the right side and look at all that.
That's okay. Go ahead, Logan. You got anything?
Just from a driving perspective, what's the big difference with setup and driving a component chassis versus an ag chassis?
Ooh, good question.
Night and day difference. One, you have enough movable weight to actually drive it accordingly with a component. The farm tractor, we run a low drawbar most of the time, an inch low probably, and just trying to balance that and make a pass. So you can't get nearly as aggressive as you would want to, just because you don't want to throw it into ups and downs. But the component is a completely different plan of attack, a lot more movable weight, more horsepower. So you just let the kind of balance that out to Mitas tires do what they do, and the harder you spin them, the better they work. So that's part of the equation.
Did you guys build both of the tractors, or did you sublease it out and have another company build them?
Yep. So Tim Engler did both those. That was a Engler rear end on Hystrung, and then Lance Little did the chassis and sheet metal on it. And then Jim Fink built the engine for it back in 03. On spontaneous combustion, Engler, same thing, Engler chassis. Kurt and Brian did all that. They did the sheet metal, and had Davis Brothers do the paint and powder coat on it. So when we brought it back from Indiana, it was exactly how it looked minus the decals, and then we finished it up and built the engine for it.
That's all I got there, Andy. That answered my questions.
Yeah.
Two phenomenal looking tractors.
Yes, they are. And they run.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jeremy,
Appreciate
I could
it.
talk.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Jeremy, for everything.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy. Jeremy Smith.
Yes.
Pro Stock Champion. OSTPA with spontaneous combustion. So I can't believe I butchered that. When I looked at the points, it was high strung, and I looked on there today, and I thought we're good to go. So
those Ohio boys can't just add 5 and 5 together.
Yeah, that was number 12 for him. So yeah, we're gonna start we gotta take our shoe off, Logan. For all those point championships.
I like it. I like it.
Sure.
We got Wesley Foster as our next guest, guys. Randy and Logan. Wesley is a puller. We know from super modified two-wheel drive trucks.
Two-wheel drives.
Yep. Barbed wire. And what's the other one? Hot wired? Yes. Is that right? Wesley, shake your head. Yep. Yes. Wesley's still in makeup as well.
Got it.
And
that's, they're from Mid-South, right?
Yep. Yeah. And then they have our next full pull live stream this Saturday from Woodbury, Tennessee. Wesley is an FFA teacher, and this is a fundraiser for the FFA. And we went down to it last year, and it was awesome. And we're looking forward to it again this year. So we're going to play the promo video right now, and then we're going to bring Wes on.
Are you ready for the ultimate pulling showdown? The Mid-South Pullers Association Woodbury Championships, straight from Woodbury, Tennessee. Catch every moment of the action from your living room and feel like you're in the center of the excitement. Don't miss a moment of the action. Subscribe now and experience the thrill of Full Pull Live.
Wesley Foster, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good. Now, everybody says I'm a kiss ass all the time, and I'm not actually. But Wesley Foster is one of the most genuine people you'll ever meet in your life. He has manners, and he doesn't cuss like I do. He's just a good person. So we are starting a swear jar at Beer Money Pulling Team. And I do want to quit cursing, so I got to be better at that. So if anybody,
I think it's one of those things where you're a school teacher, you've got to watch what you say. So
yep, if you like your job, so
yeah,
yep, if you like your job.
So
Wes, anybody knows, and Randy knows this, and Logan, I know you know what it's like promoting a truck and tractor pull. And I know you wear this on your sleeves, your emotions. I mean, I can tell by talking to you, Wesley. What does this event just mean to you as a person? Just scratch being a puller. What's this event mean to your town, to you, to your family?
It's one of those things that whenever you really look back at the history of it, the event actually, they started having tractor pulls in Woodbury, Tennessee back in the 70s. Actually, it in Chapel Hill started at the same exact year, the same exact associations and everything. And they kind of traveled together there for years building up, and Chapel Hill kept growing, and Woodbury decided to kind of take a step back and actually stopped having it there in the 80s. And then they had a few events there in the 90s, and then they stopped it all together. Well, whenever I become the ag teacher there at the Woodbury FFA, that was one of my goals that we had, was to bring it back to Woodbury. And this will be the 5th year that we've had it. Every year we somehow seem to be fighting the weather, which this year we've got a little bit of rain during the middle of the week, but Friday and Saturday's looking really good right now. So sunny and 75, as they say, and that's actually the weather forecast for Saturday right now. So you guys was down there last year, and it never truly like rained until that 9 o'clock that night, but it was just like a heavy old drizzle, and which we had the show all except for the last class. But we talk about it for my FFA kids that I have. Where the past couple of years we've been right there, number 1, number 2 FFA chapters in the state of Tennessee, and I honestly believe that the tractor pull helps us with a lot of that, because it takes care of, kind of pulls that mentality of we don't have to worry about our funding or anything, because it brings all of our fundraising for the event. So we have a little bit over 225 FFA members there with our chapter, which there's only 500 students in the school. So we're almost half of the school.
Wow.
Goes through the FFA chapter. But you take any kind of contest. We've got a couple of contests tomorrow that we're going to. Students don't pay a dime. We don't charge them for field trips, registration, anything like that. Every year we're able to buy somewhere between 30 and 40 FFA jackets. Doesn't cost the students anything for their FFA jackets. And then which those of you that have been a part of FFA, we've got state and national convention, and that's probably one of our biggest expenses every year. It costs over $500 a student to just in registration fees and hotels and travel and all that to get them to these places. And it usually covers about 2/3 of the registration and travel and everything for them to those events. So it really changes the dynamics of our chapter when a student doesn't have to worry about whether or not they have enough money to participate or attend these events and stuff like that. So
that's amazing. That is absolute. I had no idea it went to that much. Or
Yeah.
you probably told me last year and I forgot. The hats. You gave away hats last year. There's one of them right there. I cannot believe how many hats I saw, how many pullers I saw wearing a hat. All in full pull live. We're in probably, 20 plus states? At least.
So we
see that hat, Wesley, a lot.
I actually got the idea kind of like for the Enderle does, where they give the pullers hats every year. So we started that a few years ago, and every year we try to change it up. This is actually this year's hat. They're green. So
last year was maroon, right?
Maroon, yes, sir. They was maroon last year, so I got to take care of the John Deere guys this year, and we went with green this year. So we've had blue, we've had gray. So every year we've tried to do a different color hat. So like I said, this year we got the green ones here. So, but like I said, everybody that comes in the door as a puller gets a hat as soon as they pull up in the gate. So
that's awesome. Randy, as you sit and listen to Wesley, what's running through your mind right now, Randy?
I'm so excited about this to hear about. I knew about that FFA deal down there, but it's just exciting to me that the pullers come together and they make enough money to support all those kids throughout the year. That's exciting to me as a puller and as a promoter myself. It's just exciting that the world that we live in and the pullers could come together and help these kids out. That's really exciting to me. So
do the kids get into it too, Wesley? Do they like pulling as much as you do?
I think so. I think it's one of those things that they kind of feed off of you. So if you're excited about it, usually they're excited about it. And which you guys was down there last year, everywhere you look, the kids are actually the ones doing the work around there. You've got whenever you pull up at the gate as a puller, that's the kids welcome you in, giving you your hats. You go to the concession stand, it's the kids working the concession stand. This year we was actually the facilities that we have, it's at a fairgrounds, but we don't have what I would consider a traditional fairgrounds as as pullers that we're used to with a track and grandstands and stuff like that. So every year we have to build from the ground up the facility. It's just basically an open lot whenever we get there. So we've got to build the grandstands, we've got to build the track, we've got to set concrete barriers, the safety fence, and all that. And like I said, the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've got some pictures I should have sent you earlier, but you can see that it's just the FFA kids out there building the grandstands. We were setting concrete barriers today. We, setting up the safety fence. Everything that you see at this pool, everywhere you look, you've got, like I said, close to 200 FFA members working this event. And it's something, like I said, you've got FFA members that they might not do a lot of contests, but then again, whenever it comes to the tractor pull, they're there working, doing their part. They might, just want to do this or that, different activities. Maybe it's, I don't know, soul judgings or horse judgings or state conventions, whatever, farm machinery show. We always carry a busload to the farm machinery show. But like I said, they're all there working, trying to pull their load to make Woodbury FFA one of the best ones in the state. So it takes us all to make it happen. So
that is great. Again, if you're just joining us, we had Chase Richardson on earlier, who is coming to Woodbury this Saturday. He's bringing the two-wheeler, the defending Grand National Champ, back-to-back, as well as the light mods. We're going to get into all the classes. And Wes, have an event this time of year, like the NTPA points are over and some of the other points races are over now. You get a chance to pick off some big names, if you will, that maybe normally wouldn't be at a Woodbury type of event, say in June or July. But by you having this in September, you're able to do that. So that's pretty exciting, Wesley, that you're able to do that. Let's go through the classes, if you don't mind. Let's start with light. We got light limited super stocks, right?
Yes, sir. I would say that we're going to have somewhere between the 8 and 12 on the light limited classes. Mid-South has got a really good light limited class together. Just like anywhere else you go, very good color spread in the light limited class. We've got a lot of orange ones down here. We've got red ones, John Deere's. And that's one good thing about that class. And there's diesels and there's alcohols. And we talk about, Woodbury here too. And we talk about the pullers. In the light limited class alone, I think there are 6 pullers that are Woodbury FFA alumni or people that graduated from Cannon County High School there, Woodbury FFA, that were members that are actual pullers in the light limited class also.
Can you rattle some of those off? I want to try to remember interviewing them.
You got like Cole George. He's got an AGCO. Bill Bowman got a John Deere down here. He was the ag teacher here for many years. The Underwoods have got one down here. Perry Baird, he's got an AGCO one. I'm trying to think. And you put me on the spot. I'm trying to go through my head here. Jeffrey Dykes, he's not a Woodbury FFA alumni, but he's just the very next county over.
Did any of those guys help Wesley with the pull when it happened back in Woodbury?
Well, the thing about it is all of those were actually already graduated whenever we started this up 5 years ago. But there's
but I like maybe back in but was this an FFA pull back in the day, like in the 70s?
It was not an FFA pull back in there. It was whenever it finally stopped the last few years there, it was called, I think it was Young Farmers and Ranchers, which is kind of I would call after you graduate high school part of it. Kind of a club for, I would say your 20s and stuff like that. So
perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the light limited super stocks got in last year. I know the farm stocks got in last year. I know the super farms got in last year.
Light supers.
Light super. So let's move on to light supers then. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You said we got some big names coming down to compete with already a tough Mid-South bunch of light supers. They can go anywhere in the country and win.
Yeah, we've got Mid-South has always had a good light super class. I know the Haneys have always been a big name down here, Cody, and then you got Clay Haney also with their tractor. Ryan Henley, Kennethale with the light trouble or the night trouble as it used to be called, that they're just right down the next county over from us. Bill Bowman, once again, he was a former ag teacher there at Woodbury FFA. He's got one. And then Martin Daniel and Daniel Northcutt, they were both Woodbury FFA alumni members back in the day. They'll have their two tractors there. I know Bobby Jones has been calling me every couple of days saying that he was going to be coming down. So glad to see Bobby coming down. I know usually Scott and Colton Whitworth are going to be coming down. We got those. Like I said, they've said they're coming. You'll have Jacob Fuquay. Usually he'll be there.
Yep.
Then usually Tennessee Tracks, yes, sir. And then usually Brandon and Larry Phillips, they bring at least two of theirs down also to Woodbury. So I'm expecting somewhere around the 10 to 12. Cody Agent, I forgot about him. He's just right down the road here too. So like I said, we'll have a good class of light supers too. So
when did Cody get a light super?
I would say probably 3 or 4 years ago. It's a black John Deere.
Oh yeah. Okay, I knew
it's
that.
called. I think it's called In Loose Hands. Maybe.
Yeah, he buys and sells. He's like the RJ Simon of the South. Cody is.
That's a good comparison. Yep.
So you never know what they got. So and then we got let's see, super modified 2-wheel drive trucks, the class that you and your dad and brother have two in. I just want to know who's driving the trucks this weekend.
Usually Dad drives at most of the Mid-South events the past couple of years while me and Ethan mainly campaigned on the Grand National circuit. But he said that he's going to let me and Ethan drive them. I guess we'll wait and see. So he's had good luck here in the Mid-South. I think he's won the last 5 or 6 Mid-South hooks that he's made. So we might need to keep him in the seat there. So
it's not a bad idea. I have learned, Randy and Logan, you never interview a Foster if they have a lead halfway through the class because they believe in karma and jinxing them. So
I think I honestly swear that Jason jinx a lot of people now. They'll take the lead and he'll run up and he'll be like, "How you just took the lead? What do you feel?" And then the very next tractor will drive right by him. So whenever you take the lead and you see Jason coming, you just try to go hide somewhere else or something. I'm
Ethan
pretty sure
Foster has threatened bodily harm to me if I ever try to interview him again. Yeah, Wesley's way nicer. He just goes, "Get away." Because I'm down in Ardmore, Norman's hometown pool. I hope we get to see. I hope we get to see the Sun Drop King this weekend. Daryl,
he'll be there. So,
yeah.
but Yeah, like I said, two-wheel drives. I'm gonna say that we'll have the 12 to 15. Normally, we have a real good class of those trucks. We'll have R2 there. Daryl Norman will be there with his, and then you've got the regular Mid-South guys. Andy Teasley, Mark Ford, Brad Farrell, uh, TJ Wallace there. I said Mike Rigsby. Let's see.
Who's the guy
Usually.
that got second to Chase at the farm show Saturday night? Isn't he pulling? What's his name? Is it White?
Michael White, Mikey White. He's just a couple hours up the road. I think Mikey should be here. I talked to Keith Long at Springfield a few weeks ago, and he said that they was going to try to bring their new truck down. Evan Anderson usually has his two trucks down here. Jacob Fuquay. Tim Beatty came down last year, but I think Tim's having surgery this week. I won't get into that, but we're hoping he's got good results this week with his surgery and everything. So I don't think he'll be making it. Usually Danny and Wesley Lust, they'll be there with their two trucks. So like I said, we always have some good vehicles here. Every once in a while you'll have some others, like Dale Nelson came down one year from Illinois, and like I said, you'll just have some. Jim Corey called me the other day and said he was going to be coming down. So like I said, we'll have a real good class of two-wheel drive trucks, which I know sometimes people get caught up and you got to have 22-wheel drives or more, but I think any class, whatever it is, I think you need about 8 to 12 in a single class, and then let's move on to something different, because that spectator gets tired of seeing the same thing for over an hour or something. So like I said, if we can have 12, 15 two-wheel drive trucks, it'll be a great class of those also.
Dear promoters, I have one wish. Please schedule a 3 to 4 hour show, because that's all that the people want to see anyway. Don't waste your money. Bring in some classes that people want to see and be done in 4 hours. Courtesy. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
No, it's the truth.
We're going to start at 6 o'clock. That's what time we normally do. My goal is always try to be done before 10 o'clock. So,
well, you want to be able to bring your family, Wes, and have them stay for the whole night. You know what I mean?
That's one thing too. And you want everybody to see everything that you have to offer also. So, if I always said anything after 10 o'clock, doesn't matter where you're at, anything after 10 o'clock, you're throwing good money at bad money. So, because most spectators are leaving at that point in time. You're not selling stuff at the concession stand or anything like that. So after about 10 o'clock, I think you're throwing good money at bad money.
I agree 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. All right, 50 Pro Stocks. I know that's not like a super popular class in the area, but I kind of tell the fans what you're doing with the 4-1s to build that class up.
So I know that 5.0s, Mid-South, added them last year. We haven't got a lot of them just yet. I know that there's 3 or 4 being built at this time, but none of them's really got them out, which Ken and Chris Couch out there, they've got 2 of them, but I don't know if they're going to be able to make it this down here or not. But whenever we put this in, which Mid-South is going to be running 2 shows this Saturday. Lawrenceburg, Tennessee will be the other show. Lawrenceburg's already running the 4-1 limited pros down there, and had a few discussion. I've got probably 3 or 4 limited pros that are either here in the county or the next county over that kept on saying, man, we want to pull at Woodbury. We want to pull at Woodbury. I was like, I can't put you in because they're already running at the other show over here. So basically what we're doing is we're running the 5.0 class, that any 4-1 limited pros that want to come can come. And I had a 4-1 limited pro puller say, hey man, I want us to feel like, even if there's some 5.0 tractors show up, I'm going to add in some bonus money. So if say there's 3 or 4 5.0s that show up, which I hope there are, and then a 4-1 limited pro gets 4th place, then we're going to pay that 4th place position just like they won the pool. So whatever the highest placing non 5.0 will also get the $1,000 just like they won the class also. So basically we'll be paying 2 first place person or first place purses in the class. So,
but you're going to make sure it's a 4-1 and not like a super farm or a hot farm or something like that,
hey,
right?
you know what? If a super farm gets up there, then I guess super farm gets $1,000 too. Whatever the highest placing non-50 class or one is, because I know we've got a lot of super farms right here in our area too. I know like Greg and Russ Freeze, they're just 30 minutes down the road, and Jimmy and Chris Hawkins, they're just right here right here on the edge of our county too. So we've got a lot of super farms too. So I wouldn't be surprised if there ain't some super farms that show up trying to get that money also. So.
Yeah, we see that. I saw it up. They have a combo class up in NTPA Region 2. Well, it's actually Wolverine Pullers West. And we saw 5-0 pros, big pros, limited pros, super farm. Pros. Yeah, and then like a big pro has to run an 18-inch hitch, and a 5-0 pro does. They kind of try to balance it out all the same. I like what you're doing, trying to fill up the class. So it's pretty neat.
We're just trying to get a class here of a few tractors. So any 4-1 guys out there interested in trying to run for $1,000 Saturday, come on down. So
come on down.
Any 5-0s out there looking for $1,000, come on down too. So once again, I don't know how many 5-0s we'll have down here. Normally we've got 1 or 2 at each event. So like I said, anyone with the 5-0, we'd really appreciate having some 5-0s come down also.
I like it. And then let's talk about the mod class. You bringing some light mods down, correct?
Yes, sir. We
saying down. I live in Wisconsin. Sorry, Wes. I know there's other directions.
It's a little far down, but at first we were going to try to have about 5 of the light mods or modified tractor 2-engine mods come down. I know Chase was going to bring his. We got Wayne Bundage bringing his. Todd and Terry Feist originally was going to come, and then we know that Todd hurt an engine a few weeks ago at Canton, so I don't think he's going to make it at this time. We've got a few others that said that they're to write their names down, but that they can't fully commit just yet. So I think we're just kind of watching the weather around them guys to see if they're going to be able to make it, which you talk about the Grand National season is over with at this point in time. But now it's also starting harvest time too. So these rains that we're getting midweek, it might be kind of a blessing to me that maybe they can't get in the field to start on harvest or anything. They might be itching to get out of the house after it rains for 3 or 4 days, and we might pick up a few more. But I'm hoping for about 3 or 4 of the 2-engine mods to be at Woodbury this week also. So
I love it. What a great event. I love your passion for it, Wesley. Been a friend for a long time, but I just love your passion for this event as a promoter, because you know how much hard work it is.
Yeah, anyone with a 2-engine mod or anything interested in coming down this weekend, let me know. We're doing a little bit something different on the purse for the light mods and everything. So anybody feel free to reach out to me and contact me, and we'll get you hooked up. So
Logan, you got a second motor laying around for yours?
Well, I believe with the 7,400-pound regional mod, we could stick our triple engine with 3 Chevys in there.
We'll get your butt down here.
You probably could.
Let's see. What's the old Google Maps say to there?
It just says drive, Logan. It'll be okay.
Randy,
Drive.
everything's on Randy's way home. Everything's on Randy's way home.
Everything's on the way home. That's right.
Randy, you better be thankful a little bit there. I know a few weeks ago, Chase was telling me that he would pay for the mini rod sled to run down here. So good thing I didn't put mini rods in, or you and Jeff might have been on y'all's way down also now.
I think if you guys would have had the minis down in there, that's about it's 9.5 hours for us, which isn't terrible. I think if you had the minis, we would have definitely, because we were kind of short on events this year, so we're still have that itch that we need to scratch.
Yeah.
I mean, there's we don't have a lot of blown minis down in this area, but I think we would have had enough for a pretty good class of them.
Mid-South with their mini rod rules, and then I've pitched this to a lot of the guys that only run either a supercharged small block or the limited mini rules. Say bring the big guys in too, and you have 2 classes for 1 sled fee.
Okay. And
But
well, I mean, you know, like Adam Kessler, he's just a few hours up the road. He always comes down to Woodbury just to watch. I think he was even one of the guest announcers last year in the trailer while he was
Yep.
down there and stuff. And
I was walking back through the pits. I'm like, what are you doing here, Kester? Get your
Yeah,
butt in the
so-
trailer with Dan. But this year, Dan's going to announce house and live stream with
correct.
Dave
Him and
Myrick,
David
right?
Myrick. Yep, David Myrick, which is I would say one of our. He probably does 95% of the Mid-South shows. And
Nice.
Myrick does a really great job with the announcing. So him and Dan are going to be working together
Nice.
on that. So
Good deal. Good deal. Randy, you got any thoughts going through your head? Questions for Foster?
Yes. Yeah. So Wesley, before you started doing the event 5 years ago at Woodbury, the tractor pull, what did the BOAG or what did the FFA do for their fundraiser?
So which I taught at a different high school for 8 years before I moved back home. Woodbury
Okay.
FFA is where I graduated from, or Canning County High School. Whenever I graduated college, I had to go to I guess a connecting county over here, and that's where I taught for 8 years until my ag teacher became the principal. And then so I kind of slid in that. So I've got good connections there. My principal, he always supports us on everything that we I guess want to do. So before that, we mainly, and we still do it today too, because listen, we like being able to I guess be financially stable, but we do a fruit sale. And then we also have a huge greenhouse sale that will sell close to 2,000 Boston ferns and about 1,000 hanging baskets, probably a 1,000 flat trays of bedding flowers and vegetables and stuff like that. But you take the fruit sale and we also did a fall scene, my co-teacher did. So where you would just basically pay us and we'd come around in your yard and set up some hay bales and a scarecrow and so many things of corn stalks and everything, do your fall scenes in your front yard and stuff. But you could put the greenhouse sale, the fruit sale, and the fall scene sales together and it wouldn't be half of what the tractor pull does for us every year. So
That's
um,
exciting.
it's
great to hear stories that Truck and Tractor Pulling's doing some good things.
and which whenever I set this up, I kind of get a little bit of kickback here every once in a while for this, but I think for the bigger picture, a lot of people understand. But we don't allow any outside vendors to come in. The only vendors that we allow are other groups inside the school. So you might have the basketball team over here selling funnel cakes and cotton candy, and then the FCCLA, the home ec club over here, is doing, say popcorn and lemonade, and then I'm trying to think what else we've got. But like I said, every little club in the high school is our vendors, and that way it's not just benefiting the FFA in our school; it's actually benefiting every club in our school at some point in some way. With that being said, I know that like our FCCLA and our HOSA, they even say for them that just selling lemonade or cotton candy or whatever, it's their best fundraiser they do all year also. So once again, just because it's the FFA tractor pull, every club and every student at the high school basically has some part or some buy-in to it. The beta club is the ones out there parking the cars, and stuff like that. So, like I said, whenever I get all the time, like, why won't you let outside vendors in? But it's more about trying to keep that money inside our school and having fundraisers and options for the other stuff going on there inside the high school also.
Well, that's a great way, Wes, to rally a community too. I mean, if everybody, I think it's great.
Absolutely.
So,
Can't ask for much better than that. That's for sure.
Yep.
Keep the whole school morale headed in a direction.
And we make it too where like each club can't compete with another one. So say if Randy's selling funnel cakes, then Jason can't sell funnel cakes, but Jason's able to sell the
What if my
candy
funnel
and
cakes are
popcorn.
better than Randy's funnel cakes, Foster?
You should have got on the list before Randy did.
That is a teacher. That is a teacher if I ever heard one.
Yep.
Usually the only outside vendor that we do have is it is an ice cream place. But it's the ice cream place is actually run by some fellow ag teachers, and then they always have FFA kids from a different school as always their workers. So it's one of them things like, yes, it's not really part of our school, but it is FFA kids and that part of that family also coming in from a different FFA chapter or FFA school coming in and selling some stuff also.
Does your pull or the chapter get any recognition like statewide or at the national convention for having this event and being so awesome?
No, there's nothing like that. So, not for the tractor pull at least, but
Okay.
we were a national 3-star chapter this year, which is one of the first times we've been able to do that in many, many years. And what our president or one of my past presidents, T. Wayne Williams, which if any of you have ever met T. Wayne,
That
you'll
kid can
remember him.
talk. That
He
kid
is
can talk.
an exceptional student. He's actually running. He was a state Tennessee FFA president this past year. Now he's running for national FFA officer this year. So he's got that coming up here in the next few weeks. But like I said, it's very interesting seeing a small town that we have got FFA kids out there actually shining bright. So
I love it. I love it.
Yep,
Wes,
that's exciting.
thanks for coming on tonight. I know it's your wife's birthday, so thanks for sneaking on. So I hope
Before
guys
you
have
hop
a-
off here, Wes, I got to show you
Okay.
this.
Logan
As someone
coming in strong.
that
Oh, there
the
it is.
FFA
Oh,
has
there it
done
is.
so
Make that
much
big.
for me.
Yeah.
Seeing what
Logan,
you're
put it back
doing,
up. Kenzie
seeing
made
what
you
you're
big.
doing here, I hope to see you out there in Indy in a couple weeks. I've got my own national competitions that I've been practicing for. I've got a vet science competition coming up here, but seeing that you're doing this through the FFA, this is really a big thing that I think should be highlighted a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, we are a small school here in anyone named T. Wayne. Well, yeah, he's got 4 names on his name there. It's like Troy Martin Wayne Williams there, so he's got to be able to talk just to get it all out. But yeah, so like I said, it's very cool to see a small chapter like ourselves being the #1 chapter in the state a few years ago, or I guess it was last year, and we was #2 last year, or this past year. But we always try to come home with 3 or 4 state wins at different
Yep.
contests throughout the years or throughout the year. So, like I said, I'm not going to say that we couldn't do it without the tractor pull, but the tractor pull makes our lives a lot easier throughout the rest of the year once we get this behind us. Just being able financial stability and not putting the pressure of the financial load that everything costs anymore just on our FFA kids. They don't have to worry about paying for anything to be able to go and compete and do the different things that we do. So if they're in a competition for us, they don't pay registration, they don't pay travel, we buy their breakfast, their lunch, their dinner, everything they need to make that happen at each event. So we feel like if they work for us, then we're going to take care of them. So
Yeah, 100%. I've been honored to go. I've been in 3. This is my 3rd national competition with stuff throughout the years, but the organization has done a lot for me, and it means a lot, and it's super exciting to see an ag teacher promoting it, and even someone that goes down and gets dirty and pulls trucks with us every week. And it's something that's truly exciting. And I think that your chapter is truly one of the best in the whole nation because of this.
I wouldn't disagree with that. So you said vet science is what you're going for this
Yep.
year?
So this
We
year
actually did vet science last year at national convention. So.
Okay. Yeah, I might need to talk to you get you in for a Zoom
Hit
or
me
something
up
with my
there.
team.
Okay.
No, because this is our year with this. Like my freshman year, which would have been going into my sophomore year, had poultry evaluation and then a food science. So got all my medals and stuff for that. I've been lucky and done gold division for them all. But no, it's definitely been a fun ride. And it is definitely a great organization for students of all ages to get involved with.
And we're talking about T. Wayne a while ago. One last story, and then I'll call it quits on that. We're at Toma, Wisconsin this year, and the FFA there at Toma does the 50-50 raffle. And they're walking around doing these raffle tickets, and I gave $20 to my brother Ethan. I was like, go down there and get us a arm length of tickets there. And he goes down there and had one of these hats on that Jason was talking about, Woodbury FFA. And the little FFA girl, she goes, "Is that Woodbury, Tennessee?" Ethan's like, "Yeah, why?" And she was like, "That's where T. Wayne Williams is from." And I'm like, "How in the world are we 15 hours from home in Wisconsin, and this kid knows exactly who T. Wayne Williams is?" So, but like I said, it's FFA is kind of like its own little a family, just like no different than us truck and tractor pullers, you know. So we meet people all the time and see everybody all the time. So, like I said, it's one of those things that just glad to be a part of everything.
Maybe I'll crash into you out there at Indy amongst the 100,000 other blue corduroy jackets.
Yeah. We'll be there Monday through Saturday. So.
Yep, we're rolling in Monday and leaving out Friday. So go in, do the dirty work, and get out.
Get in, get out. I like it. Wes, thanks for coming on tonight, buddy. We appreciate you. We'll see you. Kenzie and I will be down in a couple days, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun. So,
hey, thank you guys.
Thanks, Wesley. Good talking to you.
Thank you.
I had no idea that tractor pull basically funds their whole FFA thing. That's pretty cool, guys.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Is exciting. And they have 200, or they said you have 500 kids in the school, and there's 225 in the FFA program. That's huge. That's exciting.
No, it's super awesome. Super awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, here's kind of the free range part of the show. Randy, what's going on in your world? Where are you at tonight? Let's chat.
I'm actually in Auburn Hills, Michigan, delivering a big manhole up here. It delivers in the morning, but I couldn't get up here with the travel restraints, so I just came up this afternoon. And it's not. I don't like doing it, but it's all part of the job. So and then we have. I got to work all week, and then we're going tractor pulling Friday night. Coshocton, Ohio, is the last event for Ohio. Finished crowning the champions down there for the year, and then we will go Saturday night for the finale. Top 5 of 11 classes pull in Coshocton for $2,000. So we got a lot of work ahead of us to make sure that's all happen. Jason down to Coshocton, he's the promoter down there. He's a good guy. He's excited. A lot of energy down there to make this finale thing work. So of course Jeremy will be down there with Farm Tractor and Spontaneous will be down there Saturday night along with everybody else. So it'll be a lot of fun for sure. So what about you guys? What do you got going on this week, Schultz?
Well, Woodbury, Tennessee. We wrapped up a busy weekend out there with you guys, and then did Dover, and Kenzie was in Centerville, and then we did Hillsdale and Centerville together, and here we are. We're gonna head to Woodbury. We'll head down Friday. We fly down Friday, and then we'll stream it Saturday. So.
Got it. What about you, Logan? What do you got happening this week besides school?
This week I got school, and other than that, I think it might end up being a lake weekend this weekend. There's been not too many of those this summer.
Yeah.
So make it down to the lake place and chill out a little bit. But no, it's been pulling every week since. So I guess I can't complain. I've been really fortunate with my situation.
Yeah. Like I said, this Saturday. Yeah, Saturday night was the first night that I hadn't gone pulling since the last weekend in May. But after I worked at the farm all day, and I ran over and seen the pizza shop chick for just a few minutes, and she says, "Well, what are you gonna do tonight?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know. It's the first night we hadn't to be somewhere to go pulling, so that was, starting to get far and few between now. So hopefully, we'll go farming here. Maybe maybe next Monday, a week from now, maybe we can go farming and try to get enough of a dent done to it so we can be at the state fair down there at Raleigh. That's always a good time. Yep. So for sure.
Yeah, we're streaming that this year, so we're excited. We did that last year as well down there. So when Randy talks about the pizza shop chick, that's his wife, everybody. Just want everybody to know that. Her name's Susie, and they've been married a long time because Randy's old and Susie's really young. He got her right out of 18, but yeah, no, that's who the pizza shop chick is. I just want everybody to know that. So.
Yeah, we've been selling there. I've owned that pizza shop for 33 years. We've sold pizzas there in my little hometown. So, yeah, Susie's worked for herself in there all them years, and it's been very good to us. And as well as very blessed to be able to do that, so that I could go and tractor pulling and get to meet everybody I've met over the years. And So that's kind of how that whole thing evolved. As a pizza shop chick, somebody's got to stay home and work so I can come out and meet everybody and do what I do, you know? So
Yeah.
as Doug says, Randy doing Randy things started a long time ago.
It happened. The mini rod. So when you bought the mini rod sled, how has that changed your life, Randy?
That's been a really exciting, pretty exciting to me, because you don't really, I don't know, I know a little bit about it, but I don't know much about, I want to put on a really good show, but then you got to determine what's the number for the good show and who's there, but it's a real struggle, or for me to, a mind struggle to put on a great show for everybody, as well as the puller, and to put on a good show for the promoter as well. So it's been a learning curve, and then if we get to do a few other things here, learning the sled, and maybe get to go a few other places, that's the biggest thing. I pull about the same 8 to 10 vehicles every night, so I'm learning that really helps me to be able to pull the same vehicles. Our dirt's pretty consistent in Ohio, so we're getting better at setting the sled up, and there was a lot of sleepless nights thinking about it, though, Jason. I'm not gonna lie about it. I was really concerned about putting on a good show and doing a good job, and I didn't want to be the guy who screwed the show up, for sure. So there was a lot of sleepless nights thinking about it, and then finally if you're gonna do it, you got to do it. So I went to the last year I went to the NTPA banquet down in Columbus, Ohio, and talked to Vaughn about it, and that's where we did the deal. So yeah, it's exciting to have it, and learning every day, that's for sure. So
it's good. No, there is a lot of stress because you don't want to stop them too short, but you don't want to let them run out too long and have to reset, make somebody hook again, and because you do care. I mean, I know all the sled operators do, but it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, we talked to a lot of people. I talked to Chase about it a little bit, and Jeff. Talked to Jeff and Jesse Hurt, just not every day, but pretty darn close to every day. Jeff and I talk about whether it's farming or how the lawnmower shop's doing, or just life in general. I talk to him just about every day about something, and we talked a lot about it. He was probably one of the biggest pullers that I talked to about me buying that sled, and a lot of just let it sink in of listening to him and Chase. They talked about things, and Kevin and Lindsey Campbell. I talked with those guys a little bit, just listening to their inputs on it, and I took all of them things and just let it sink in, and then that's when I finally decided that it's going to happen. So that's when we did it, So
I like it.
Absolutely. So what do you got on your schedule besides going down to Woodbury, Kins? What else you got going on this week?
I got Woodbury. I got going to Weeklands the week after, October 3rd and 4th. And possibly, where's that place? Not New London. I'm talking, the one on Monday.
Oh, Lancaster, Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you'll be in Lancaster?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Will you be down there, Schultz?
Yes, sir.
Got it.
Yeah, so we have Woodbury this week, and then on Full Pull Live. Mm-hmm. Then there's a Colorado Pull with the Outlaw Heartland Association this Saturday as well. And then next week we have 4 streams going on next week. We got Crossville, Tennessee, the 3rd to 4th. We have Boonville, North Carolina. We have E-Town, Chase's hometown pull on Saturday night. And then what's the other one I'm missing? Oh, Weeklands. Weeklands pull. And that's a big one. Is it the power pull on the Weeklands on the hill? Yeah, there's Shane. Yep. Shane's jumping. Weeklands is shaping up to be one heck of a show, y'all. When you look at like the super stock diesel trucks that are going out there, it looks like a Grand National class. I mean, it's going to be, it's kind of Randy and Logan. It's kind of acting like a Diesels and Dark Corners type of an event, because we're all burnt out. Let's be honest. I mean, it's end of the season, and but then you have a couple weeks off, or you have 10 days off. We're like, let's go pulling again. And I think Weeklands is one of those events where I think it's going to be gigantic. And it's in the middle of freaking nowhere. I mean, I've never been out there, but it's not close to anything. And they just pack people in. And Mike and Amanda Weekland, and they're pullers. And I've always said, and I will till the day I die, pullers make the best promoters because they've listened to all the other pullers bitch over the years and the fans. And you want to try to make everybody happy. So
where is that actually located at then, Jason?
Chest Springs, Pennsylvania.
Chest Springs, PA.
Oh,
Super
gotcha.
Stock Pro Stock Combo just got added as well. So you guys are going to be pulling till 3 a.m, Kenzie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it that? I think I seen the Martins from Pennsylvania were talking about that. I think I seen they were advertising on that. Absolutely. Now that you say that, for sure. Yep. So
Then the following weekend, the 10th, 11th, we have a couple options. We're still weighing. And then the next weekend, it's Lufkin, Texas with the Outlaws, the Outlaw finale, and also Raleigh, North Carolina State Fair. Then Diesels and Dark Corners. And then the weekend off. We got asked to go to California again, but we just don't have enough people and time. And then we are going to go to California. We can't spend 2 weeks out there. We're going to be in Madera, California, the 7th and 8th for the Golden State Invitational. We've made good friends with Mercedes and MLM Motorsports. And then it's banquet season and PRII, and then the clock starts, and we hit it again in January. So,
Yep, absolutely. So Lufkin is the same weekend as State Fair?
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry.
It's a big fundraiser for Mission 22, I believe. It's a veteran suicide thing that they raise money for. They have semi-truck drag races during the day. So it's right next to a drag strip down there. And they have a big vendors and a truck show, and it's wild. It's stinking. Like, we made the mistake of going out and getting lunch last year on Saturday during the day, and it took like an hour to get back in. So, and then everybody kind of comes over for the tractor pull, which is, yep, they do push-ups. For the promoter donates $1 per push-up. How many people are on the track? Raises thousands of dollars. And then they always have a big country music concert right there by the tractor pull at the end of the night. So it's the end of the year for Outlaw 3.0s, Pro Stocks, mods. Yeah, and I know some of the California modified guys are coming out to run with the Outlaws have a neat class. Chase talked about it a little bit earlier, but 7,400 pounds. So you see a lot of different variations. You see 3 Chevys, like Logan, what Logan has with and Ulmers have that as well. You see the 2 Hemis, but then you got Griffins, Griffin Grau. That's not what is that? That's a Griffin.
He has turbos on it now.
That's a Griffin, like airplane motor.
Yeah. Yep. You got a Griffin, and then you got Allison's. Then you got twin turbines of Petch.
Yeah.
So all over the board.
Is it that with Donald? Does Donald have the bullwhip in that one?
Yes, he does. He's got 3 mods.
Yep. 2.
Twisted.
Yeah, Twisted Whip, Bullwhip, and now
the Ball Buster.
Yeah.
Bull Buster.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun, and that's really been one of the Outlaws' biggest classes this year for numbers.
Mm-hmm.
They've been 15-ish almost all the time in a mod class. Randy, what's the OSTPA mod rules? Is it 7,500 pounds, right?
Yeah, it's all there. We have so if you're at a B event, which the B is going to be the purse, it is 7,500, and then if you're at an A, it's 7,800, and there is a little bit of different blower limitations on it, and I don't want to say anything to be wrong, so I'm not exactly sure. I have my book in here. I actually keep it in the Kenworth with me just in case we get into questions like that, but at an event. But yeah, it's 7,500 and 7,800 for when you're at an A event. But so, and that just goes with them, obviously with the 7,800, like the Bargies can put 3 motors on, or they can run, I think it's 3 with 14s.
Yeah, 3 with 14s, 4 Hemis with 8s.
Yeah. We can only run, I think they can only run 3 8s in Ohio. So, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I know, a guy from Indiana that comes over, works with Craig Sage. He shows up with 8s and kind of beats up on him a little bit there. He lives in Florida and Indiana.
Tedder.
Yeah. Tedder's tractor runs real well.
Yeah, we saw him. He won in Centerville Saturday night and then Hillsdale yesterday. So
yeah, he's been in Ohio with us a couple times. I think he just has 8s on that, if I'm not mistaken, 3 8s, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong.
I'm not sure. I interviewed him yesterday, and he probably told me, and I don't think I asked. So
no, that's okay. Understood. But yeah, well, that's good. It's good. Are you? So when is the banquet? When is the banquet you're going to, Logan? When is that? PPL banquet?
Yeah, it'll be the PPL banquet. The 15th of November, I think, is when it is.
Okay. Yeah. I don't worry. I just let the pizza shop chick tell me where and when I'm going. I'll be there. So
cool. Half the time Chase just shows up down there to drink beer and party.
Oh, yeah, he's been there. He's not that far away, that's for sure. So it's worth it. It's fun to be. It's fun when everybody gets together. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
That's for sure.
Well, and everybody's usually had a couple of months to kind of relax and get their crops out or whatever, or just get away for a bit. And they're excited to see everybody again.
Absolutely, Jason, for sure. So, alrighty, well, I guess
yeah, let's wrap this maybe up.
Yeah,
it was great seeing everybody, and get through the weekend, and we can have another chat again next Monday night. Be exciting. Come on out.
We love having you on, Randy. It's a lot of fun. So appreciate you.
Great. Yep, it's great to be with you guys. It's really blessed to be able to be with you guys on every Monday night. So I really enjoy it. So
awesome.
All right, sounds good. You guys all
Thanks,
have a great
everybody.
week. Yeah, have a great week. Talk to you.
thank y'all.
Today. Let's talk about today.
Grand National State level, you have to run non-sales, wholesale.
Is 9,000.
The only mistake I made, I didn't put it in a registration book.
Just this ever-evolving story.